years to make it the year of the vaccines. What does that mean exactly?
Well, over this decade, we believe unbelievable progress can be made, both inventing new vaccines and making sure they get out to all the children who need them. We could cut the number of children who die every year from about 9 million to half of that if we have success on it. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth. Reducing the population growth. Reducing the population growth.
God halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of GMAS for teaching us this truth. Shalom to all the sincere Akyam, pushing his word and sincerity and truth all over the four corners of the earth. So in this clip that you just saw, this man Bill Gates was talking about reducing the world population, man. And now this new thing that he's pushing under the supervision of these elites, you know, the Rockefellers, the Bilderbergs, you know, who wanna push this new world order, because Bill Gates is just a puppet. He has put $4 billion dollars into vaccines for malaria, and we all know where malaria is, man. Malaria is in the countries where Jake is, man. West Africa, you know, Southern Africa, Southern America, Slovakia, you know. So now he comes with this, man. So the first clip you see, he's trying to reduce the world population, and now he wants to fight malaria with his vaccines. Hey, people are gonna die, man. You know, so hey, brothers, you know, you shouldn't be in the spirit to take a vaccine or to listen to any of these Edomites by taking vaccines, man. You know, even if they say, yeah, if you don't take this vaccine, you're gonna die. Hey, then I die, man. That's most I willing, man. So, you know, he's pushing this vaccine shit, and they're gonna force us to take vaccines too, man. You know, I remember one year, was a few years ago, 4 or 5 years, here in Holland, they were saying like they were sending letters, but not to everyone, about the flu, that you have to get the flu vaccine, but not to everyone. So that was strange, you know. I didn't get it. Some people got it, you know, the swine flu or something. Hey, that's just some, you know, reducing of the population of the earth, man. People died from that shit, man, from those vaccines. So, man, here you see the new video, man. This is new. Just came online 2-3 minutes ago. Check it out, man. Shalom.
Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates and the British Treasury Chief George Osborne have unveiled a new plan to fight malaria. They announced a fund of more than $4 billion for a 5-year research program to try and eliminate the world's deadliest disease, which killed up to 440,000 people last year alone. Previous efforts by the Gates Foundation to fund vaccines to eradicate the deadly disease have had some controversial results. A potential cure for the human strand of the papilloma virus was tested in India on teenage tribal girls, but resulted in 5 deaths. According to health activists, dozens were also hospitalized, with over 100 cases of children suffering various side effects. In Malawi, in Africa, a previous attempt at a malaria vaccine reportedly killed 47 infants during the clinical trial period. The allegations, though, were denied by a senior officer for the Path Health Organization, through which the Gates Foundation channeled its funds for the testing.
There were deaths during the trial, but none was due to the vaccine. In many of the trial sites, the death rate was below the community average, because enlisted children got quick, top-notch medical care.
Robert Scott Bell, who's a radio host who specializes in health issues, says the biggest problem with any new malaria vaccine is a lack of independent testing, and that brings into question patient safety.
We see a similar pattern in, for instance, the biotech industry, where they'll develop a new patented gene technology or genetically engineered compound or food, and they'll test it for safety in-house, basically. Submit that to the government, and the government will sign off on it due to the revolving door between the regulators and the corporation itself. And there's evidence that this is happening with this new malaria vaccine. that indeed we're talking about in-house testing and analysis, a lot of employee participation. So there are legitimate questions as to safety and efficacy studies. Have they been analyzed thoroughly through an independent research endeavor, or are they just relying on the submissions by the corporation that would seek to benefit from the approval and sale of this vaccine globally?
The British pharmaceutical giant GlaxoSmithKline will help the Gates Foundation develop the new malaria vaccine. The company itself, though, has been embroiled in a number of scandals lately. It had to pay millions in settlements for fraud and bribery after it was accused of paying doctors and pharmacists to prescribe and sell the company's products. Robert Scott Bell again says it's unclear whether the main goal is profit or health.
We find that the Gates Foundation holds stock in many corporations around the world in the pharmaceutical arena. And so even though the Gates Foundation is supposedly a nonprofit foundation, the reality is the money that comes in and keeps rolling in depends on their private-public partnership. That is their alliance with government agencies along with corporations that are for-profit. And this creates a conflict of interest, because if they're going to profit off of the sale, the global sale of a vaccination, which they will, then you have to question the integrity of the entire project to begin with. That is not to say it is not possible to do something like this, but the track record has not been good, particularly when it comes to the safety, as you mentioned, in India and Africa and around the world. So this is quite an extraordinary scandal that will only grow in proportion as more independent outlets look deeper into it.